underground, 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 underground,
Greetings, surface dwellers. My name is Michael, and these are my chthonic musings. We're still in RPG a Day 2025 and doubling up the prompts for twice the excitement and half the time. And so let's go. Alright, my surface dwelling friends, today's video is going to be a mashup of prompt numbers 10, Origin, and 11, Flavor. But before I do that, I'd like to acknowledge the loss this past week of a dear and longtime friend, Richard, who featured prominently in my first video on this channel about my own origin story related to how I got into role-playing games. He was the friend from the city that came up on weekends that I taught to play role-playing games on an old clue board. He played in my first long D&D campaign as a fighter trying to reclaim his family's kingdom from the shadow dragon that had stolen it. He played a Knoll Ranger Barbarian in my campaign of alternate races, and most recently played a cleric of a magic goddess, a goddess of magic, I should say, who somehow had a supreme dislike of wizards, but in the end somehow got along with the wizard in the small party of four, kind of recreating a Gimli Legolas kind of situation. And I'll just say that to say that he will be missed is a severe understatement. All right, both of our prompts, both of our words today have multiple meanings, each one of them. So the first thing we're going to do is go over which meanings we are going to use in today's mashup. And for origin, I'm going to go with this one: the point at which something begins or rises from which it derives. And for flavor with a U, we're going to skip over the distinctive taste of a food or drink and instead go with this definition: an indication of the essential character of something. And so we're gonna return back to the idea of travel and journeys in a way, but we're going to focus today specifically on the origin point, where we start our journeys from, and the essential character of that place as it relates to our journey. So the first aspect of the essential character of this place that I'd like to discuss is the relationship that one or more of the player characters, or all of the player characters, have with this place. So is it just a temporary accommodation? A place they just 2 days ago rolled into Baldur's Gate and they're staying at an inn and have no particular connection to this place. It could just as easily be in another city. Or is this more of a long-time residence, a long-term accommodation, and or do they have a personal connection to this place? So, at first they may roll up to, let's say, the keep on the borderlands, and it's a new place, but they, it's their starting place, and given the lore, maybe they can't go back. This is, where they're staked their fortunes, do or die. This is the place that they're going to make it or break it. But after a while, after a while of interacting with, other NPCs and making various forays out to the caverns of chaos and such, they will build some sort of connection to whatever place they happen to be in. Well, usually, I should say. Or they may be the kind of people that burn bridges everywhere they go. And then finally, is this beyond just a long-term, or long-time residence? Is this like the ancestral home of their people? Where their ancestors are buried in sacred burial grounds and such, where it has deep spiritual significance to one or more or all of the players. That will probably change the how the players feel about this place and leaving this place, and we'll discuss about whether the trips are meant to be a return trip back to this place or not. Next, let's discuss the essential character, the flavor of the nature of the trip itself. This is the origin place, but what is this trip that their travel that they're about to take? Is it open, or a secret? So do they have to keep it a secret that they are traveling or where they're traveling to? Or is that not a concern? It's just, out in the open. Yeah, we need to go to, X town and, get some supplies and come back. Also, is there time pressure? Are they able to plan their trip and, pack up their wagons and make sure they have plenty of supplies and rations and water and such? Or does a certain event trigger their trip and they must leave immediately with whatever they happen to have at the time? And then, on a related matter, is this trip or this travel by choice? Are they choosing to do this? Or is it really the only choice possible? Is it really mandatory that they get the heck out of Dodge, or they pursue some sort of quest in order to prevent or reverse some sort of difficulty? And finally, let's talk about some of the events that might trigger this travel. Is it an opportunity, such as somebody has come into the possession of a map, and or maybe our players, the players themselves have the map and they can plan out their trip and make a foray to go treasure hunting. Or maybe it's more like The Hobbit, where the dwarves show up at your door and they've got the map and the trip's going to happen one way or the other, and the only question is a time pressure. Are you in or are you out? Are you coming with us or not? The trip might be triggered by an alignment that the time is right. It's happens to be the end of the winter season, and you're able to make it through the mountain pass, and this is if you're going to make this trip, this is the time to do it. or the stars are aligned, and the shaman or circle of druids or whoever have said, this is the most fortuitous time to take this travel. The next, it could be related to a prophecy or a vision, which could also be related to, the stars are aligned, and so therefore, because of the prophecy, this is the time to make that trip. I'm thinking here a couple of examples, like in the Dark Crystal, where you have the approaching great conjunction of the I think it was three stars. I think they had like three suns in the great conjunction, and therefore, it's time to begin the journey. Or in the Black Cauldron, where the pig henwin can, prophesize and tell things or what's about to happen in the future, and therefore, this, to see the incoming danger, and there, that triggers the beginning of the journey, to try to escape that danger. Another event or theme could be that, a secret has been revealed, and this secret, therefore, changes the status quo, and maybe it creates an imminent danger. Thinking of like the Lord of the Rings, particularly like, Bilbo throws his party and, kind of out in the open, uses the ring to turn invisible, and therefore, rumors spread, and it's just a matter of time before it makes its way to some very dangerous people, and therefore the quest must begin as soon as possible. You can also have an event that's like a disaster. There's a volcanic eruption that is going to make this origin place unlivable, maybe for a while, maybe permanently, maybe destroy it entirely. It could be on an island that starts sinking for some reason. There could be an invasion of a military force that therefore makes this location no longer safe as a residence. It could be in other species, less of an invasion and more of an infestation of some sort of creatures. Or similarly, it could be the introduction of a plague that is affecting some or all of the people in this location. And then I just want to finish up with, the idea of once this journey has started, based on the nature and the PC's relationship and the events that trigger this travel, to think about, whether or not there's a return trip. Is this going to be, a you can't go back home moment that drives the events of the campaign out into other places permanently? Or is it going to be more of a, we can fix this, and they go out, players go out on an adventure and do what they need to do and come back with some sort of solution, a remedy if it's, plague that you're talking about, or, other, you come back with their own army, to fight off the occupying forces that are camped out in their hometown. That's just food for thought about today's mashup of topics. And so, until I resurface, may your successes be many and your failures be memorable.